Hi YouTube. I understand why when they record they have like that blinking light. Yeah. My kids were interrupting on my previous attempt to do this, and my husband called and okay. But this is not going to be my regular April update whip video. I'm going to talk about the retreat that I attended in Cincinnati and this last weekend. It was so much fun. It really was. I'm very glad I went. I was very, very nervous of going because I was traveling by myself, something I haven't done in a very long time. I was flying. I wasn't nervous about flying itself. It was just, you know, am I going to get to the airport on time, and is my flight going to be delayed? All those little details around flying, yeah, those are what I was nervous about. And then I was going to be picked up at the airport. I was flying to a city and state that I had never been to. Actually, 2 states, because CVG is technically in Kentucky, and then you drive into Ohio. So I had never been there, and I was being picked up at the airport by someone I had never met, and going to a place, you know, I had never met anybody face to face. So yeah, it was very much outside my comfort zone, but I'm glad I did it. I am. I'm very glad I did it. It was so much fun. You're gonna hear me say that a gazillion times, unless we're interrupted again. I did this video yesterday and had all the pictures and the editing, and then my laptop said, sorry, you don't have enough storage space for this video. And I don't know what in the world is on my laptop that I have everything backed up to an external drive. I've removed all my homeschooling curriculum from my laptop that was on there, and I have done everything I can. But it's an older laptop, and I keep waiting for it to do the Mission Impossible smoky blow up thing. Hopefully it won't. So I'm definitely going to have to do this in 2 videos. That's just the way it is. So, yeah, I'm just going to start talking about the retreat. And I'm not going to show any whips. I do have one finish I will show. And I'll show a whole lot of haul. Haul that I bought, haul that I received. Yeah, a whole lot of haul. I had to get very creative when I packed to come home. I know some people don't like haul, and if you're one of those, that's fine. But I do encourage you to check out the last chunk of the second video. This is video 42, and that'll be video 43. Check that out, the last part of it, because I took pictures of all of the finishes that we had. And yeah, I brought 5, but there were 166 total. So, I think I took pictures of everything. I tried. I didn't do really close up of each project because we had to put our name on them, and I didn't want to put people's names out there that I didn't have permission to do. But you may have wondered, you know, how big is this project stitched? And you could see it and realize kind of the size of the project, or should I put this on dark fabric or opal fabric or whatever. We all have those questions when we're kitting up a project and considering doing a project. So I encourage you to, even if you don't want to watch the haul part, look at that part of the video, because it may inspire you in your own stitching. And there are also going to be some pictures of bikinis in there, stitched bikinis. Those are not Mirabilia patterns, those are by Meridian Designs, but I threw them in because they were cute. So even if you don't want to watch haul, watch that part of the video. Okay, let's see if I can do this again. If nothing else, by the time this video gets up, it's going to look very polished, like I actually know what I'm doing. But in my handy dandy notebook, I have haul, haul, and haul. So, yeah, heavy on the haul. But it was so much fun. I was very glad I went. The night before, my husband and I took our oldest 2 children out to supper. And because we're trying, they don't live in our home anymore, and we're trying very hard to get to know them as adult children because we want a relationship with them. And those of you without adult children, it is a transition process. So I went with Josh. He had an event at Stephen B's, which is a knitting shop in Minneapolis. And we had eaten at the Bad Waitress. It's a restaurant in Minneapolis. And I don't knit. I've tried. My hands don't work that way. But I kind of hung out in the background. And I thought, I wonder what gizmos and gadgets that knitters use that maybe cross-stitchers could use. And some of them wouldn't, but I found this. And I'd been looking at getting a little light like this, little portable light. I like this guy here, but he's not very portable when I go stitching elsewhere. So I got this one, and it's by the same company, Mighty Bright. And I liked it. It's LED. It's not going to turn on right now because I have the batteries. When I packed it in my check-in, I flipped one of the batteries so it wouldn't turn on and cause issues. It also has a nice magnifier. I like the size. Some magnifiers are huge on these things, but I like the size. You can set it on a table. It has a magnet underneath if you want to stick it on something. Or you pop the base out and you can clip it. Thinking like a scroll frame, Q-snap, you can clip it on there. It runs on 3 AAA batteries, or you can buy a thing to plug it in. I've been looking at one of these for a while, and I really liked this one. And I didn't know what the lighting would be like at the hotel, and so I thought, oh, having an extra light would be good. The lighting at the hotel in the room we were in was really good for stitching. It really surprised me, nice and bright. And then the next morning, I stayed overnight at Josh's apartment because he lives closer to the airport. It made a lot more sense than having my husband have to drive 2 hours, depending on traffic, one way. And then I could just have Josh drop me off. So Josh dropped me off. And the first time I had seen his apartment. And it definitely fits his personality. But he lives near a fire hall, so we had a few sirens go off. It was quieter than I thought it would be, though. But yeah, we had sirens going off. And of course I was, gotta make sure I get my alarm and I don't miss my plane, and yeah. So I didn't sleep that much. Went to the airport, and I don't know why, but the MSP airport, it's a huge building. It's huge. And so I walk in, and I was flying on Delta, and Delta's all those desk thingies to check in. Of course, it's the one all the way to the south. And I went over there, and I had pre-checked my bag and all that, and so it took me just a few minutes. And then I asked him, should I go through South Security or North Security? And he said, go North because that's where your gate is. So I went to the North Security, got patted down because apparently I'm a scary person. No, apparently, I'm thinking about it. I had a cardigan on, and I think my t-shirt kind of flipped like this, so it was a little thicker. But other than that, it was fine. The officer was really nice, who just patted my shoulder down where I was done. It still took me 25 minutes to walk to my gate. I thought, where in the world is this place? It starts at F, whatever the biggest F gate is. And of course I was at A. So I had to go through all of those and walk. I wasn't in a rush or anything, but boy, if I was in a rush, that would be would not have been a good situation. Got on the plane, flew out. Of course, it snowed, so we had to be de-iced. And flew into Kentucky, at CVG. And went to baggage claim, and my bag was there already. And I was one of the first people off the plane. So then I met the person who was picking me up and her husband, and she picked up another stitcher at the same time, or about a half hour before I arrived. And then we drove in to the hotel. And it was really nice because, I could get to know a few people just kind of in a small setting. That was really nice. And then we got to the hotel. My room was ready. Dropped my bag off. Their rooms were not ready yet, but we went out to lunch. And again, more time to get to know each other. And that was really nice. And then we went to the stitching room, and we got our goodie bags, signed in, got our goodie bags. And in the goodie bag was a coupon to the local needlework store. And it was a good coupon. So we went there, checked them out, and really cute store. It's called Keepsakes. I think it's technically Sharonville, Ohio. No, it is Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay. Our store, it's a house. And so, like, each room is kind of themed a little bit. And as one stitcher said, if you put your finger out and could actually touch the wall versus you would be lucky because there's so many models. So many stitched models on the wall, on the tables. And, yeah, I was amazed at how many models were in that house. And the owner, his name is Barb. She is really, really nice. And so I picked up some things. Went back to the hotel. We stitched. Then we went to dinner at a local restaurant. And these people that were seated at the table that was reserved for us, they were sat at 5, and they were told by the manager, you have to be out by 7. We have a large group coming in. Oh, okay. We'll be out by then. We all got there about 7, and there were a few tables open, so some people filled in. And one table that we needed, they were just getting their checks. So, it wasn't that long before people were seated there. But this other table, they knew that we were the big group that this table was reserved for. And they sat there for another 40 minutes. Yeah. They didn't even say, hey, no, there's nobody sitting up at the bar. Let's all shift to the bar so they can have this table. So we had to wait. And then after they cleared the table and it was washed and everything, and we sat down and placed our orders, they stood there in the middle of the room for another hour just talking. Right in the middle where the waiters had to, and waitresses had to go around them. They were just being rude. It was incredibly rude. And the manager had told them specifically when he sat them at 5, you have to be out of here by 7. And it was a fast food service. You ordered and the orders came out hot and they were very quick. So it wasn't that you had to wait forever to get your food. That's another story that I'll tell. But yeah, they were just rude standing there the whole time. And I'm sitting there thinking, you have a whole room of people here who love to play with sharp things, and you want to irritate them? But the staff and the management were very, very nice. And the food that I ordered, was really good. I didn't hear anybody complain about their food. But my food was really good, what I ordered. So we went back to the hotel, stitched, and then, I don't know, I headed to bed about 11, I think. Yeah, sounds about right, I don't remember. And then the next morning got up, stitched some more. Don't remember what we did for lunch. I had something for lunch, but I don't remember what. And then just stitched. And Nora arrived about 2 that afternoon, and she came in the room and she was just looking at all of the finishes that were up. It was amazing how many they were up, and still more were added after that point in time too. Yeah, I wanted to run up and just talk to her, but I was so scared. I thought, okay, she's going to really wonder about this woman from Minnesota, and she's strange, and why would she want to talk to me? And yeah, so I was scared, so I hung back. So I thought, oh no, I'll say something stupid, and so I just hung back. But then our table, we were all there stitching, and she's kind of coming around the room, and she pulled up a chair and just, like we're hanging out in a coffee shop, and started talking to us, and I thought that was really cool. She talked about designing and stuff like that, but she also just talked life. It was very casual. This retreat was very casual. There were a few things that there were certain times for, but overall it was very, very casual, and I really liked that. If you wanted to stitch, you could stitch. If you wanted to chat, you could chat. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then that evening, that's when we exchanged mystery boxes, kind of like a white elephant type of gift. You don't know who's going to get your box type of thing. And Leslie, whenever she does a mystery box, mystery exchange, gift exchange type of thing, whether it's through something like this or the Under the Sea Facebook group, she gives you categories to have in your box, in your package, but they're still very wide open to interpretation. So in our bags, we had a ducky. This is mine. I had a number on the bottom, and she drew numbers out of a bag, and that's how everybody came up to pick their bag or box. And this is the one that I chose. So all my goodies were in here. Really nice bag. This actually became my carry-on on the way home because it was bigger than what I had. And I was one of the first ones to go and pick up a bag. You did not have to be part of the mystery box exchange. That was fine. It was just another fun thing that people could choose to do or not do. But it gave Leslie a chance to introduce people and where they lived, so people could kind of get more familiar with them. Yeah, she called me up there, and she couldn't remember where I lived, and I said Minnesota. Of course, I didn't mean to, but I said Minnesota. Yeah, I'm not born and raised in Minnesota. I was born and raised in Rapid City, South Dakota. But since I've lived here, I went to college here in my sophomore year, I met this freshman guy, and yeah, lived here ever since. I learned that in Minnesota you have to say the O. It's Minnesota. They're very adamant about that. And you will not eat casserole. It's a hot dish. We drink pop, not soda. And you do not play duck, duck, goose. You play duck, duck, gray duck. Yeah, I don't get it either. And I asked my husband, I'm like, why gray duck? He said, well, then you could say green duck and gravy duck, and I mean, you can make up something, which makes no sense, because goose is 1 syllable, gray duck is 2, so goose is actually faster to say. And I mentioned this at supper a few weeks ago, and my kids, I said, I still don't understand that, why it's duck, duck, gray duck. And my kids said, well, Mom, it makes total sense. And they said, well, what else is it supposed to be? I said, well, duck, duck, goose. Mom, that doesn't make any sense. So you must have to be born in Minnesota. It's something about being born in Minnesota and duck, duck, gray duck. But, yeah, I didn't mean to say it that way. But it was kind of funny. Nonetheless. And then we kind of opened one of the items like once an hour. So we did like 3 or 4 that night, and then the next day we picked him up and finished it off. So the first thing that we were asked to put in there was some kind of stitching embellishment. And I had found a little fairy charm from Just Nan, thinking Mirabilia, Nora Corbet, or excuse me. Yes, I did find out how to pronounce Nora's name, and it is Nora Corbett. Although it is a French name, so I got that part right. So I have to retrain myself to say Corbett. But yeah, it was a stitching accessory, and so I found this fairy, thinking Mirabilia, Nora Corbett, and this is what I received: a bead box, blue moon beads, all these lovely beads. A whole lot of stitching I could do with those, and I plan to. It doesn't say how many beads. There are 24 different containers in here, all assorted beads, and most of them are seed bead size. So that was my stitching accessory. Then we had something froggy, and I received this little guy. I gave my person a froggy needle minder, and I got that little guy, and I got this one, a little wind chime that I thought was so cute. I was really nervous having him come back because this tin or metal that he's made of, it can bend, and I was worried. I did put him in my checked-in luggage, but I had him... Oh no, I didn't put him in my checked-in luggage. I had him in my carry-on. That's what I had him in. Yeah. But I had to kind of brace him a little bit so he wouldn't get bent. So yeah, he was in my checked-in bag, or carry-on. And then she gave me funky socks, which I like funky socks. I wore these home. They're washed. I did laundry. And yes, I did laundry since then. But you see, there's this little metallic thread here. Don't wear metallic thread when you go to the airport. I knew not to wear, sequins on my top type of thing. But, yeah, I got my ankles padded down. And I thought, what in the world? And it didn't even occur to me until I thought, oh, I'm wearing these socks and they have a little bit, just the tiniest bit of metallic thread. So yeah, I had my ankles padded down, and apparently CVG does not like Victoria's Secret underwire. Because I got padded down there too. And I thought MSP had no problem. Same brand, not the exact same item, but the same brand, same style. But apparently CVG did. And then, to top it all off, how dangerous I am, I had to have my hands checked for chemicals and explosives. Yeah. I don't know why, because the person I rode to the airport, she had a rental, and she filled up the rental with gasoline, but I didn't touch the gasoline, and she didn't have to have her hands checked. So, yeah, she said, oh, I had no problem going through the security. So it must just be me. Trixie and I are going to start a club. She had some interesting adventures too, and I'll let her talk about those. But that was something froggy, something sparkly. This is what I received. I gave a sparkly scissor fob to my person, and I thought, ooh, quart container. So that's what I'm going to use it for. Keep it out of the hands of my children, especially my youngest daughter. She's like, ooh, that's so sparkly. Let's see. Read my notes. Oh, something beach or ocean themed, and I gave my person some, like, it was this cute little bucket. It's a kid's toy, beach sand, and I thought, oh, she's going to think that's kind of silly. No, she really liked it. She said, I'm going to be playing with my grandson with this item. But this is what I received. It's a little picture holder, or even, I suppose you could stick a recipe in there. But yeah, shaped in coral. And she also gave me this guy, which has a sand and then some seashells. And it turns on. So you get the idea. Really, really pretty. Again, you could put something in there to hold. And then number 5 was a stitching accessory. And I gave my person some scissors because you could never have enough scissors when you cross stitch. And she gave me a threader. And apparently, like, one side is for larger needles, and then one side is for smaller needles. The eye of the needle. So this will be pretty handy when I haven't opened it yet. But yeah, that'll be pretty handy. And then number 6 was something soft, and I gave my person gloves in a bottle because I love that lotion, and it makes your hands nice and soft, and it's safe around your stitching. And this is what I received, this little purple bag. It says #blessed. And I didn't even notice there are arrows on there. And scripture talks about a man having children in his youth like arrows. I'm blanking on the exact saying. I'll have to find it. I hadn't noticed that till right now. But I like the size. I can put some nice items in there for stitching. 7 was something hard, and that was the hardest one for me to find for my person. But I found her some little fairy statues to kind of watch over her stitching. And this is what I received, a collapsible storage cube. And it actually has a lid. I see these collapsible storage cubes, but I rarely see them with a lid. So that's what I have for that. And something to wear. I gave my person socks because I like funky socks. And the person who had me gave me this scarf. I'm not normally a scarf wearing person, but that might change. So yeah, I love the colors and the lace on here, and it's just really pretty. So I really liked that. And then specialty fiber. I gave some Fiberlicious fibers to my person because I love her fibers. This is what I received. You can never have too much DMC. And the colors that are in this particular packet are called for in a number of my patterns that I'm trying to kit now, so perfect timing. And then number 10. Number 10 was something Minion related, Minion themed. And I gave my person a blingy Minion needle minder, and this is what I received. He's a piggy bank, coin bank. And looking at the names of the Minions, we think this is Dave. And I carried him on my carry-on. I did not, I thought there's no way I'm putting him in check-in. I thought he would, security would kind of wonder. I mean, think about it. I had this in the frog in my bag. And they made it through security, no problem. Of course, maybe that's why I had to have my hands wiped down. I don't know. But yeah. And my 2-year-old, I have him up on my bookshelf in my room, and my 2-year-old will run into my room and he'll look up and he'll just start giggling at him. I'm like, no, you can't play with him. But he likes him. He thinks he's cute. 11 was something tropical. And what did I get my person? I think a blingy mermaid needle minder. I got her a lot of needle minders. I thought, stitching, you can never have enough needle minders for stitching. Everything was put in this little handy dandy basket, and I like this. I have a bag that's made out of the same material. So durable. So I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to put in here, but I have open houses coming up. We have people over during the summer for picnics and barbecues, and yeah, so I'll definitely use that. And inside the basket was this little guy. So yes, flamingos can survive in Minnesota. And she included these. These are measurement scoops from 1/8 of a cup to a cup. Those were included. And this towel that has this white area that I'm thinking I could probably stitch on. And she gave me this pattern. And you're not going to be able to see enough from back here. pretty tropical flowers, and the floss to stitch them. So that was what I received for tropical. And then 12 was snack. I gave Australian licorice, made right here in Minnesota, in Perham, Minnesota. It is so good. I like Twizzlers a lot, but Australian licorice, it puts Twizzlers to shame. It is so addictive. And I told her that when I was talking to her later. I said it is addictive. And the person in my bag were Good and Plenty and Snow Caps. So my kids really appreciated them. And then 13 was something that you need when you travel and stitch. I gave my person a zippy pouch because I like those, and I received a cutter. This one is a yarn cutter, so it's a little larger than the thread cutter, but I already have a thread cutter. So these are pretty handy because you can't touch the blade. So if there's any, I know there's always a question, can you bring scissors on an airplane? This you can bring, no problem. And you can kind of wear it like as a keychain. There's a hole on it. You make it a keychain, or you could wear it as a pendant type of thing. And then 14 was something bright colored. I gave my person some purse needle minders in bright colors, and this is what I received. Dot to Dot for grown-ups, and an adult coloring book, and color pencils. And no, my children are not getting these books. They're mine. They're mine. They already have their own. I bought them plenty. So that was what was in my mystery box, and then number 15 was a card saying who you were, and this is my pretty card that I received from her. It's kind of funny because at the table behind ours was a mother-daughter, and at my table, the woman sitting next to me, who was the one who picked me up at the airport, the daughter had picked the bag she made, so she kept going, can you look over and see if she likes it or not? And then the woman on the other side of me had drawn the daughter's bag, so they kept looking over, and then I had the mom's bag. So it was really kind of a small little area we were all in, but it was funny. She also included some other fun little things. So this is definitely mom's pen. My kids will hunt and find mom's pens because they never keep their own. But you ask them to find a pair of socks. Yeah. And she also included this little guy, and he has a clip up here so you can put something on him for fun. He is a dancing shark, and you put a little light here. This is a solar battery, so you have light here, and then he'll dance. And the stronger the light, the more he dances. So we called him Bruce, like the shark in Finding Nemo. And he danced at our table for the rest of the retreat. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was so much fun to go there and do this. It really, really was. So, let's see, 33 minutes. Trying to figure out how my phone can handle it. It's the laptop that has a problem. Well, I will show what I purchased at Keepsakes, and then I will end this video and I'll do another video for the rest of the stuff. So when I went to Keepsakes, I, of course, found a few things. And this is a pattern. If I would have just seen the pattern, I really don't think I would have purchased it. But she had this one stitched as a model, and it was beautiful. Absolutely stunning. And it's huge, too. So it is all DMC, so it would be really easy to change out colors. But yeah, I bought this one. Otherwise, I wouldn't have purchased it. And I enabled one of my new friends to purchase it, too. And then this one by Waxing Moon Designs. Our family is like fudge. very sweet with a little nuts. This calls for Gast and Weeks Dye Works, but it also has DMC alternates. Yeah, alternates. I haven't decided if I'm going to use DMC or not. And there are buttons on here. You see, so there's this motif in the frame, but there's also these buttons. It was a stitched model, and it was really, really cute. And I think I might have a couple of those buttons. So yeah, I liked that one. I'm like, yeah, that pretty much sums up our family. And then I found this one that if you bought the Classic Colorworks and Strawberry Parfait and Rose Petal, then you got the pattern for free. And this is a mock-up. This is not the actual pattern. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So it's not the actual pattern. It's just a mock-up. It is by Little House Needleworks. And I really liked those colors. And she had this as a stitched model too. So that's one reason I really liked it. And of course my kids came in from playing baseball or guns, and they have to fight over who won and what happened. And yeah, it's life. And then she had a whole bunch of freebies. But most of these were stitched. And so I liked what I saw on the little things. Like this one is from Cherrywood Design Studios, Bent Creek, Hands-On Designs. I'm not sure what this one. Brenda Kocher Designs, The Work Basket. They might have some of these on their website. I don't know. This one is Fireside Originals, Glendon Place, Trail Creek Farm, and The Stitching Parlor. She had a lot of these stitched, and just they were over there. It was so cute. So I picked those up. And then let's see. Of course, you know, I like post stitches, so I had to get this one. I love you more today than yesterday. Yesterday, you really got on my nerves. And there's a charm right here, and it was included here. It's a little different than the one that's in the model that's on the cover here. I don't think this was a stitched model, but I like post stitches and it caught my eye. And then I also picked up, I'm in shape. The shape I've chosen is pear-shaped. And this is a little charm here, little brass charm. And that was also, it's in this pattern, but where it's located right, I can't show you the charm without showing you the pattern, so use your imagination. When I stitch it, you'll see it. I like post stitches. They stitch up really quickly, and they have kind of that sense of humor. I also thought, oh, I should do something for Thanksgiving, because I don't have a lot for Thanksgiving, and I found this from Hands-On Designs, Twice Blessed, where it says grateful and thankful, with the acorn and the pumpkin. It includes the little felt things for how they show it finished in the picture, but I was thinking that it would look better as a frame with 2 openings. Just a minute. Okay, they want to play Xbox. Anyway, I was thinking if I had a frame with 2 openings and then stitched them. I don't have fabric or anything for them. And I don't remember what they call for. Gast and Weeks Dye Works. So I'll figure out how I'm going to stitch it. I just really liked the pattern. And then this one, Giving Thanks by Little House Needleworks. I'm thankful for my daily bread and also for my cross-stitch thread. She had this as a stitched model, and I thought it was really cute. And it came with all of the Classic Colorworks thread. So I thought that was a good package. I found this one too, the Scarlet House Coverlet Houses. This was a stitched model in the shop. It uses NPIs, but you can also do DMCs. I'm sending this to someone. Although I'm so tempted to stitch it myself, I'm sending it to someone. Because there's someone I've been wanting to send something to for a while, and I haven't found anything, and then I saw that, I thought, that's it. I also got this one by Lizzie Kate, Joy to the World. Another stitched model she had on the wall. This one has some Crescent Colors, Dental Arts, and Weeks Dye Works. It does have DMC alternatives listed. And so these are the ones. Okay, where'd the other one go? Where'd the other one go? There it is. So these are the ones I know I do not have. These four. Licorice Red, Piney Woods, and this one is Cucumber, and then this one is Blue Bonnet Red. This one kind of reminds me of an unripe tomato where it's reddish, but it's not quite ready to eat. And this included the fabric, and there's an embellishment. It keeps hiding on me. Yeah, there it is. There's an embellishment that was included. This has this little thing here too. Both patterns are included. I don't know if the fabric is enough for both patterns or just the main one, but that's where the embellishment goes. And I thought that would be cute. It's on a little box here, but it would be cute as a Christmas ornament. So I really liked that. And again, it was a stitched model, because I normally don't like this color of this kind of natural linen. I don't know. I just don't prefer it. But then I saw the stitched model and I was like, oh, I like that. So I got that one. And then I bought those threads. I think I have all the other threads. And then I bought some, let's see. I bought a few water lilies. This is Emerald, Golden Grains, and Pearl. And then this is Ink Black by Silken Colors. I have something in mind for this, but I'm not going to elaborate. And then I got a few beads. Whoops. Again, I'm not going to elaborate. But I think that's everything I got at Keepsakes. She does really, really awesome framing, and you can send things to her. I will put her information in the box below. Her name is Barbara Hills, Keepsakes Cross Stitch in Cincinnati, Ohio. I will put her information in the box below. But I'm going to end this video here, so then I have a chance of actually uploading it without my computer exploding. And then I will do part 2. Again, at the end of part 2, I'm going to do the pictures of all the finishes. So I encourage you, if you don't want to watch anything else, watch that part. I think you'll really enjoy it. But I will see you in part B here, and it'll be just a couple minutes for me, but it'll probably be longer for you guys by the time my computer uploads, and yeah, you know, gotta get that hamster going. So I will see you soon.